Monday update. We are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central to share with you all of the latest and greatest news going on here with Project Die Hard. There's a lot going on a weekly basis, and it's important to keep everybody up to date on all of the things that are happening and to introduce you to some really good friends that you want to meet as well. So, first up, we always have Brian Gibson, the president and founder of Project Die Hard, joining us to give us some updates. So, Brian, come on in. How you doing?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. Still on mission. Getting all ready, if you see in the background, the pedestal for the Fill the Can trophy presentation this Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm appreciative of everybody that helps. But I gotta bury down today on Mission Monday. So would you please bring up my slide deck? There we go. It's Mission Monday. What does that mean? That means we talk about the mission. Look, our volunteers and our patrons, they are the body growing the kingdom in the veteran community. We need more. So, are you the muscle or the blood of this mission? Each one plays an important role. If we all work together, more will get done. Come on, push the button. All right, guys, our community support program members. Look, they have proven to be the best. They have proven to have the heart to help. The more you support them, the more they can do for this mission. Go to our website. They're all listed on there. Click on one. It'll take you right to them. Support them. Send them an email saying, thanks for helping the mission. Pretty simple. It's up and it's running, folks. We have merch now. Scan the code. Order a bunch. 50% of what your order costs comes back to this mission. You wear that merch. It helps spread the mission, and it helps the right people to hear about it that will join you in helping this mission. Here's the big one, folks. Real simple. Been blasting it out. We're going to be blasting it out every day, I think. This costs you nothing to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell everybody you know to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Because when we hit that magic number, they pay us. It doesn't go to my wallet, doesn't go to Susan's wallet. It goes to the mission. If that's the only thing you can do to help this mission grow, thank you and God bless. Bringing it up tonight on Mission Monday for Connecting Tuesday. Tomorrow is what? The 22nd. What does that mean? That means Club 22 is in full effect. Go fill your stomach and our account at the same time. Dine with our members on the 22nd of every month. Let them know that you're with us and a portion comes back to the mission. This builds facilities and expands outreach programs. And then on Fellowship Friday, if you're in the Paducah area, come and join us as we present the trophy for the 2025 Fill the Can Challenge champion. That's the update.
And say again, who was it that won?
Napa Autos of Paducah, Kentucky.
Huge congratulations and huge thanks. And actually, I believe I heard that whoever came in number 2 was not too far behind and actually kind of got dethroned this year.
13 cents was the difference.
But there is only one number
There's
one.
only one champion a year. That's it. And I'm sorry, we don't do participation trophies here.
We give our thanks, but yes, that we're very grateful to all who donated and supported that amazing piece that we do every year. We have the Fill the Can Challenge that runs from Memorial Day until Independence Day every year, and we sincerely appreciate all those who pitched in and helped make it what it was for us this year. And look next year, but I gotta say though, that doesn't mean you have to wait until next year to donate. You can still donate now. We are obviously taking that in all year long, and we actually are very much encouraging that people choose to donate $22 a month all year long. That would be amazing. That would make such a difference in what's going on here if we could get 100 people doing that.
Oh, that would be phenomenal. But as I say, it's not the amount, it's the monthly. That's the key. It's that every month we have to be able to say, yes, we're getting this amount. That way there, we can plan, we can budget, we can do all that stuff that's required. Instead of coming at the end of the month going, how are we going to pay the electric bill? How are we going to pay the water bill? God will provide, I'm sure. But coming down to the wire every month is getting real tiresome.
It's a little stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we encourage people to spread the word and bring more people to the table here that can do this with us.
Yeah. But I understand we have a guest back tonight.
We do. One of my favorites. Maury Zelkovich is an absolutely wonderful gentleman who has helped so many people in so many ways and has quite the interesting story himself. We did get a sneak peek last week, but tonight we get to dive in just a little bit more. So, Maury, so glad to have you here tonight. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
Loaded question for tonight, right? But glad you are here.
I'm okay. All things considered, I think I'm doing rather well. Thank you for asking.
So you want to go ahead and tell us a bit about what you do and what it means to our veterans.
So I am what I call a brainwave. Well, I call myself something else, but I'm not allowed to use those kinds of words on the air. So I will just say that I am known as the world's top brainwave entrainment expert. And what that is that means I'm what I call a neural scientist. I create systems using audio and visual stimulation, MP3s and MP4s, if I want to sound less important. And they help to alter brainwave activity. And brainwave activity is one of the ways our brains produce chemistry, things like neurotransmitters and endorphins and hormones. And believe it or not, it's the combination of these chemicals that allow you to feel and experience life the way you do. That's why you can have 3 people in an airplane all about to put on parachutes and jump. And one of them is super excited and another one is terrified and another one couldn't care less either way. It's the same stimulation, but a choice as to how they interpret that stimulation, how they interpret the feeling. And pardon me. So what I'm working on right now that's relevant to Project Die Hard and veterans is I'm in the process of preparing a package for a clinical research study with the VA. So it's a proposal for the VA to run this study for me on a system of mine called Common Clarity, which is a series of my recordings that are designed to help people suffering from PTS. Now, I understand that PTSD is no longer a preferred term because it's not a disorder, it's considered a disease. So I don't want to insult anyone, which is why I called it PTS. But, PTS, a rose is still a rose, even if you call it a bag of turnips.
Yeah.
It's still a rose. So that's kind of what I'm in the middle of now. A couple of days ago, I woke up with my shoulder missing in action. MIA, I think is the military term. It was normally my shoulder hides behind my clavicle. That morning I woke up, it was front and center. So I dislocated it. If I, to stop being cute, I dislocated my shoulder. So I was hoping I could have all of that ready for today so I could give it to my contacts and they could send it off to the VA people who would then review it and tell me all the millions of things I need to change. And then
they'll do that.
Yeah, I have no doubt. So that's what I'm looking forward to. The idea is that we don't want veterans to have to pay for it. And if we can get a study through the VA to prove that it helps, then we can arrange some process that hopefully can be made part of the regular regime of what the veterans are able to get at no cost to them. It's totally uninvasive. You literally put on a pair of headphones, close your eyes, lay down, or sit with head support. And that's it. You hit play. You can even fall asleep. There's nothing to learn. There's nothing to study. There's nothing to do. Everything happens automatically, taking advantage of natural processes in the human brain.
So, as a sufferer of that PTS, how does that rewire my mind?
Well, the intention is that you have thoughts. And a lot of veterans see things they can't unsee, is the phrase I'm familiar with. When they see them and relive them over and over and over again, that's an incredibly stressful event that, like, it was stressful in the first place. And then it's stressful because it's repeating itself over and over and over again. Studies show that when people remember things deeply, it's as if they're happening again. It's not just that they're remembering it. It's that their body and physically and mentally are going through the same things they went through at the time.
Yeah, we call those triggers.
There you go. So the idea is to get the brain to stop pulling the trigger so that you can remember things and it's a memory, but it's not reliving it. I went through the first 40 years of my life wanting to die, wanting to kill myself. And I tried to end my life 6 times that I can think of. But the thing is, if I really wanted to die, it's pretty easy. And when I realized I didn't succeed, it was because I didn't want to. So in a way, I was very lucky. But the idea here is to give vets and first responders and people in highly stressful situations the ability to detach themselves from the situation so that they can do a better job when they're actually in the situation, and so that they can actually not have to pay for it for the rest of their lives.
That would be amazing.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And how could we help you with that? Because, I do got a few contacts in the VA that when I call, they go, "Oh, no, it's him again."
Well, let's see.
I'm just saying, because when I call, it's usually on behalf of one of my brothers or sisters, and they're getting the ramrod, and I won't stand for it.
Well, when I get the whole process finished, like all the documentation that I need together, if you just because I have one person who's going to submit it to someone else at the VA doesn't mean you can't submit it to your people as well. Because who knows if the person we submit it to is going to say yes. My work is considered a little fringy, shall we say. I wouldn't say woo-woo because it is backed in science, but it is totally unique. It doesn't involve pills or injections. It
That's
doesn't
going to
involve
be
psychiatry.
that's
It
going to be
involves,
your uphill battle right there.
yeah, well, that's the whole thing, right? And it's not my uphill battle because for me, I know what it works and I know what
Yeah,
helps.
I
So
mean, I'm in full agreement. This is why it's like here at Die Hard, we don't take government money because we don't want to be curtailed into, oh, you can only do this for the veteran.
we see, I can do both. That's my point. I can approach the government and I can approach private influencers like yourself. If you have people in your organization who you think could benefit, if you think you could benefit, it's yours. We don't have to wait for a government to do a study or whatever. You guys can try it and be part of a beta test if you want to call it that. I can tell you that we sell this program already. Okay, to first responders and to veterans, they pay nothing, but we sell to everybody else, and we've gotten very good results thus far.
Again, brother,
So the
yeah,
offer is there. We're on videotape now, right? Do they call it tape
Mhm.
still?
I do.
yeah, we're on video, but again, yeah, send get our information from Sue or Kurt.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. I'm giving you this. You send me. Sue and Kurt have my stuff. All
Mhm.
you need to do is say, "Hey, Maury, this is who I am. You were on my show. You offered. I'm taking you up on the offer."
Okay, because
Okay? Because when I give something that I believe is useful, I don't feel comfortable. Like someone's got to do some work, right? They have to do the reaching out at least.
I can make that happen.
Yeah, and there's no effort on your part there, right? You probably even have an assistant or somebody who will do it for you. Maybe you could give
I
Sue
wish.
doggy eyes and Sue will do it for you.
I wish I had that assistant.
Well,
Yeah.
down the road, right?
Oh
Down the road,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
As the
Look,
team grows.
yeah, as this mission grows, look, that's why we need the help. We got these big blessings moving,
Yeah.
and we need more people to come on board and take on some of this stuff.
Well, maybe you can get some of the vets to kind of pick up some of the slack for you to help out if you give them something at no cost that might help them to feel better. So
I
maybe I can be a small part into helping influence people to take more of a direct role. You know, one of the things research shows is that people who are suffering from depression actually are helped when they help others.
Mhm.
It
yeah,
makes you feel better. So I would expect, I mean, I don't know this, but I would expect that PTS and PTSD, you know, could be considered a form of depression.
it is.
And by helping others, they see that they have value and they have use. And they do. Everyone does.
I just got in a discussion over the weekend with our canine assist service dog program that we want to initiate.
Oh, I thought for a minute there you were talking to the dogs.
No, we have my what came to me is this. A veteran becomes a resident, right? And they say, "Hey, I want a service dog." Or not even a resident. A veteran comes and says, "Hey, I want a service dog."
Sure.
Okay. Here's your puppy. In 2 months, you start training with our resource partner here who's going to teach you how to train your dog. So when you're done, you get to go train somebody else how to train their dog.
Yeah.
But I'm a little sneaky in there because I'm giving them a puppy that they're responsible for. So, yeah, I know it's sneaky, brothers and sisters, but I got to get you to live one more day somehow, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's smart, actually. I wouldn't call it sneaky. I'd call it smart.
Yeah, brother, I get accused of, you don't know what you're doing. Okay.
Anyone who does anything with the right intentions is doing a great job.
I was a combat medic for 26 years.
Wow.
I've handled mental, I've handled physical, I've handled both. I know what my brothers and sisters need. It's not that hard.
Wow.
This is why I'm grateful for you to be on this show, sharing your knowledge, because, yeah, we're going to reach out. I'm going to try it
Good.
because I will not expose anything to my brothers and sisters that doesn't go through me.
That is totally responsible and completely fair.
I think it is.
Yeah. Why would they use it if you're not going to?
Why would I ask anybody to do anything I'm not willing to do?
Exactly.
That's leadership 101. Yeah.
Well, I have total confidence in what I do. I've been doing my research for 45 years plus. I've been using it myself for most of that time. And it's brought me back from the abyss. It's brought thousands of people all over the world back from the abyss. One of the reasons why I'm here today is I want it to be something that is very, it's got to be something that is, it needs to get out there. Not enough people know about this. Everyone knows about pills. Everybody knows about alcohol. Everybody knows about shots. Everybody knows about hospitals. Nobody knows about this. This isn't everything, and it may not replace any of those things that we just talked about, but I believe it's a piece to the puzzle, and I believe it's an important piece.
I'm in full agreement with you. That's just like I'm going to revert back to our resource partners. One organization can't do it all. I need other veteran organizations to bring their pieces to this puzzle. It's just that simple. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Sure. Yeah, the best one person is not going to beat a team of average.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
again. Look, folks, I've been doing this since 2018. I'm talking to the audience now, but my stance hasn't changed. God will never leave the mission. We will never use the suffering of veterans for profit, and there are no drugs or no alcohol allowed.
Simple.
Yeah, straightforward.
And I'll be honest with you guys, you don't got to talk to me. Susan's very pleasant to talk with.
Usually.
Yes. If you join our team, you're going to start there in the first place. Okay? The only time you see me in this whole thing is when we're signing those agreements.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then after that, you deal with your people. If I got to get involved again, that means we're probably talking about those agreements somewhere.
So that's the incentive. If people don't want to talk to you or deal with you, they have to sign up to help. And then that'll pretty much guarantee them that's a perk.
There you go. There's a perk.
I don't know if that's a perk. That might be a negative, actually, not having you involved at all.
Brother, I will give time to anybody who wants to help. Okay, I will.
Sure.
I've done it many, many times. But I don't have time for talk. You know, we will get your info. You have a logo, a website for all that?
For what we're talking about here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing this a long time. I've got multiple websites and multiple pages and
Well,
everything. Everything that's necessary is what we have.
You only get one website for me that will help with.
Well, I mean, I just want to get it out there. However you want it to be represented, that doesn't offend me either way.
Again, brother, we can put you on our website under a resource partner. You know, that's how we grow.
Sure.
Cool.
Well, one of our partners is a veteran. I think he was in the Marines, the Navy. He also did work with the CIA, I believe, at Guantanamo Bay.
You mean alphabet soup?
I apologize. I don't know what that means.
CIA, DEA, FBI.
Oh, I see. MOUSE.
Yeah. One of my tours to Iraq, we were guarding Saddam, Chemical Ali, all those people. So trust me, I know alphabet soup.
There you go.
The IRS had a team over there talking to these guys. I don't know why.
Oh.
But,
Interesting. So actually, Maury, I did have a question for you.
Sure.
So with your program, is this? I'm assuming it's not something that you just listen to this once. How does that work?
So there's actually 25 recordings, and basically the minimum listening for someone who has issues and wants to deal with them would be, say, one recording a day. That involves putting on an ordinary pair. I don't have any handy here, but an ordinary pair of stereo headphones, Walmart specials or, Amazon specials, $10 is pretty much all you need. Something to listen to it on, somewhere to lay down or to put your head back on. Close your eyes, 30 minutes a day. That's all they need. And the way they would do it is they would listen to one of the 25. And then the next day, let's say you listen to one every day. So it'd be today, one of 25, tomorrow, one of 24. So you eliminate the one you listened to previously from the routine until you've gone through them all. And then you start over. The order you listen to it doesn't make any difference at all. You just got to keep switching them up. They use a technology I created called triliminals. So what triliminals are designed to do is to stop what I call the negative reflexive thought process. An example of that is you get a phone call at midnight and you don't normally get calls at midnight. What's your first thought?
Oh my gosh, what's wrong?
Exactly. We're wired like that. So the idea here is to stop that and to change it and to make it so that you recover faster. And if it is something not good, or you don't worry about it in the first place. It involves the use of various techniques that I've created. We have a bass tone that kind of sounds like shh, white noise-ish. It's 600 frequencies laid on top of each other one at a time. And most of them are there to block out external noises. But some of them, I believe, are resonant with different regions of the brain. Then you have a brainwave entrainment tone, which kind of sounds like a smooth and a soft MRI. So you're going to hear like, and that's at a specific frequency that elicits a response in the brain of something called long-term potentiation. And LTP is a state that allows for the formation of memory pathways, neural pathways in the brain. So the idea is, let's block out external stimulus. Let's make the brain receptive. Let's put it into a state where things stick. And then let's talk in the left ear with information for the right hemisphere of the brain, the right ear with information for the left hemisphere of the brain, because that's how information works. Anything on one side goes to the other. And then also information in the center that goes to both hemispheres of the brain. All of that happens at the same time. So you're going to hear a real jumbly goo going on. And the idea is that it retrains the brain to think differently. So what took 40 years to learn or 20 years to learn or whatever can be changed to a different learned response in a much shorter period of time. And before people think this stuff doesn't work, because a lot of people go, ooh, this is woo-woo, this is garbage, this is, BS. Before they say that, every one of you have probably already experienced brainwave entrainment. If you've ever driven in a car with the white lines flickering by you and you don't remember most of the drive, you were probably in a state induced by something called highway hypnosis, which is essentially brainwave entrainment. If you've ever tapped your toes or bopped your head or swayed your body to music without realizing it, that's a form of entrainment. So you've already experienced entrainment. This is just targeted for your neural pathways.
My question is tinnitus any effect?
Well, I can't make medical claims, but
I understand, but
I have people who claim that it's helped them. It doesn't have a negative effect on the recordings.
Okay. Because I
even
know
if you have a ringing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really influence the recordings. The tones are strong enough that they overpower pretty much anything else. If you have too many sounds that are incongruent, like rat-a-tat-tat, someone's building a pool or a building right next to you and the rivets are pounding and this and that would be, that would get in the way. But generally speaking, sounds like that might happen from tinnitus or something else. Probably wouldn't have much of an effect.
Okay. I'm just,
No, they're good questions.
Yeah. I suffer from it, so
Sure.
I'm asking,
Yeah. Well, you don't do it while you're driving. You don't do it while you're doing anything potentially dangerous, because it can put you into a natural state. People talk about altered states all the time. We exist in altered states. My work is to bring you back into what nature intended you to be, not a supernatural state. It's a natural state.
Yeah, because I'm trained to be in a supernatural state of heightened awareness and yeah.
Well, intention has a lot to do with what you can get from brainwave entrainment. Just like with exercise, if you exercise a lot, people tend to concentrate on the areas that they want to get better at or stronger at or more agile with or whatever. And it's the same with your brain. So if you want to be stronger with your memory, there's exercises you can do in conjunction with brainwave entrainment to help your memory get better. Dr. Dale Bredesen wrote a book called The End of Alzheimer's. It was #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list for like 10 months. And he mentioned my products 3 times in it because he uses it to help people with Alzheimer's and dementia as part of his protocol. So this is, legitimate stuff. There's 2 independent research studies that I have. Research, as you probably are aware, costs a mint. And I was approached by a captain in the Brazilian military years ago. And I thought it was a joke because I had a friend who was a member of CSIS, which is a Canadian intelligence agency. And I thought he was set it up to con me, right? But it turned out it was the real captain really in Brazil. And they asked me to design a research protocol, which I did under the condition that I get the results. So they sent me the results. I had them translated into English because, of course, they were in Portuguese. And every measure they took improved. And they were using it on classes of their military police, people training to join their military police. Mato Grosso University and the Brazilian military co-authored the study. And then I had another study done by a professor at a Jamaican university on pre and post math exam anxiety. And again, every measure they did showed benefits.
Sue, I think we need to plug him into Southern Illinois University.
There we go.
I'd be more than happy.
Well, no, they're a resource partner of ours.
Nice.
Yeah, I can make that connection happen.
Thank you. It's very thoughtful.
That would be
Look, the more credibility I can get, the more people will believe in it and maybe give it a shot and hopefully have a better life.
Yeah, brother. Just like the more people that believe that we are real and we are doing what we say we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. There's too many people out there doing so-called good work, and 95% of the money they raise goes into their pockets. Not into building things, not into buying food, not into helping people they claim they're helping. So good for you guys.
Yeah, no, I won't abide by that.
I know that's not you. That's exactly why. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I'm not against salaries, okay?
No, of course not.
People think that I am. I'm not. Our facilities have to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have to. I'm going to have to hire people for that because I can't count on volunteers to cover that.
Yeah.
Those hours. I can't. But everybody starts as a volunteer. You got to prove your heart. You got to prove that you're worth our resources.
Yeah.
What do you mean I got to be a volunteer first? Yeah. Again, the more people that hear about us, more people like yourself that says, hey, look, these guys are real. These guys are doing it. You know, they're doing it the right way. The faster we're going to grow.
That's why I'm here, because I believe in your mission and I believe in you as a person. And, you know, to be honest, to be associated with Susan and with Kurt doesn't hurt your cause any in my mind.
I'm just happy they're both here.
Yeah, me too. Well, Kurt's not here. He's hovering, I think.
Almost
just outside. Almost here.
When I see the camera turn on, then I know he's ready. He's coming.
That's actually a nice way to describe Kurt. Normally he's not all here.
So, well, I do have another question.
Sure.
So if you were, okay, let me back up. When I went through training and I served as an EMT for 10 years, and I know along the whole training process and all the experiences, all the things that we saw, did, all that, I remember being told things like, you know, you got to kind of compartmentalize what those experiences are so that you can put them away, you know, just because you can't, like you said before, you can't unsee things, right? Stuff happens and you don't want that in there. So compartmentalize what's going on. And how do you speak to that?
So I believe in burying things or compartmentalizing things is kind of like putting a nuclear weapon that's in the middle of exploding in a cardboard box. It ain't going to hold it.
Nope.
And it's going to cause problems, all kinds of problems. Even if the box holds the blast, the radiation's still going to leak out. So the work is not to deny what you saw or experienced. It's not there to pretend it didn't happen. It's not there to build a nice solid 6-foot cement wall between you and the memory. It's there to help you see that what you actually did was something valuable, worthwhile, and good. And yes, there were things that you could have easily lived without seeing or doing, for that matter. But there was a noble purpose behind it. I believe when we believe in our purpose, it gives us strength, and it gives us you see, how do you explain some people who have seen exactly what you saw, but you needed psychiatric help and you needed meds, and the person right next to you was, yeah, whatever, who cares? Right? How do you explain the difference there? Well, I would explain it by saying they are interpreting the events differently than I am interpreting the events. There's no such thing as bad or good, only what we choose to define as bad or good. So they're defining whatever happened as necessary or heroic. You're defining it as horrible and disgusting. When we define something as horrible and disgusting, it's painful. When we define something as heroic, well, that's a whole different ballgame. Now I'm wearing a big red S on my chest, and this is a job for Superman, right? I mean, what feels better? To stand there with your arms at your side and the cape blowing in the wind and the crowds cheering on your superhero name, or people throwing eggs at you and rotten tomatoes? So it's a matter of helping you to take everything in the proper light and to realize that even if you disagreed with what you had to do, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who followed orders that didn't really want to follow those orders in the first place, then you understand the nature of what happened and why it happened. And you understand it wasn't your fault, and you did what you could do to lessen the negative effects. You could feel good about yourself instead of feeling crappy about yourself. I don't think there's a lot of people who feel good about themselves that put a gun in their mouth.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. And that's the whole point. We want you to feel good about yourself. We want you to realize that, yeah, you did stuff that I'll never understand. There's no question. You know, why should you listen to me? I'm not a vet. I've seen a few dead bodies in my life, but they were all dead from old age, you know, or associated diseases associated with old age. Not pleasant things to look at, but definitely not things like other people have seen.
You
So
mean
why
like
should
the orphanage that was the result of a car bomb that was meant for us but took them out?
that kind of thing is exactly what I mean. So I don't know any of that. So why should you believe me, or why should you believe in me or anything I create? You know why? Because I give a shit. That's why.
There you go.
Because I don't want you to hurt, and I don't want you to suffer. And that's my motivation, and that's my intention. And I use a combination of intelligence, of science, and of intuition and heart to brew the tea that I brew.
There
And
you
that's what
go.
I want you guys to have, and that's why you guys should believe in what I'm doing and what I'm saying.
Oh, brother,
And when you try it, I think you will. I think it'll be pretty easy to see that.
you wouldn't be on this podcast if I didn't believe in you.
I appreciate that.
Okay? I only take the best. There are
So until the
people.
best shows up, I'm filling the void. Is this what you're saying?
No, you're not filling the void. Map to manhood, right?
It
Yeah.
sure is. Yeah, I see we got Kurt joining us as well. I'm going to go ahead and bring him into the conversation while we are pulling up our awesome messages that are coming in here.
Yes, map to manhood, right there, guys. If you look on their social today, they announced it. There are partners. Praise be to God. These are veterans. Yeah, these are veterans, guys, that understand the need that we work together. Hope is given. Yeah, because like everybody asks me, well, how many? Let's take the fellowship breakfast coming not this week but next week, right? Everybody always asks me, well, how many people are going to show up? How many veterans show up? I don't care. If one shows up and gets to fellowship and have a cup of coffee and a free meal and finds hope, then everything I've done is worth that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't. People go, well, you can't think that way. Why not? Why not? Yeah, guys, I mean, let's get down here and dirty. I was a combat medic. I've had to decide who lived and who died because I could only carry so much on my back. So making the decisions is pretty easy for me because I made the hardest one in life. Scary thought, isn't it, Maury?
I can't even conceive, man. Honestly, people say, "Oh, I understand. I understand."
Yeah.
I'd be lying through my teeth if I said I understood. I have no clue. I have lived such a compressed, hidden, protected life. My wife was in a country in Europe that had a civil war, and she was sitting having a coffee in a beautiful cafe downtown, and then an explosive went off. She had shrapnel in her face for 6 months before she could get help. Life turned around. Well, I can't snap this hand. My other hand's in a sling. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But, her life changed in a second. She saw things like that she had to just ignore. And I can't understand what all of you have seen and everything else. I am so taken aback by what you've gone through. I can't begin to think what that's like. Hey, I've had my hell on earth, but my hell on earth is not your hell on earth.
Well, and again, my hell on earth is not your hell on earth, right? Look, everybody's life is different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else.
No, but you're pretty good. Take
No.
it from someone on the outside looking in. You're pretty good to me. Yeah. I would comment that Kurt is too, but he pisses me off that he still has all his hair.
Hate to tell you this,
Okay.
but he's got the thickest hair on the planet. He's been known to, like wreck razors or shears or whatever. Yeah.
It's still a little long for my liking, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kurt.
I'm sorry. I thought a little giggle was called for at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like I can do a little bit of growing some facial hair again and start looking like you guys a little bit more. More you can send me one
I'm
of your
leaving that to
hats.
you guys.
There you go.
Well, Susan, if he grows a beard, you grow a beard. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can take the hair when he shaves it and glue it on your face.
There you go.
I actually saw today in my social media things, I literally saw this woman. I had to take a double take.
Oh boy.
Because she had basically thicker than me.
Well, they used to have circuses, right, with the bearded lady.
Yeah.
Huh?
hormones do that all the time to people. It's, you know, it's not horrible, it's not unnatural, it happens more often than you'd care to think.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, none of you realize this, but I've been a woman all my life. I just trained myself to speak with this deep voice so I could get away with the
Yep.
view.
We say it's
So
not
if I
good,
call
not
you
bad.
Mary, I'm not too far off. Mary
You
Zelkovich.
see,
There you
folks,
go.
Mary Zelkovich, yeah. It's important to laugh a little. There's lots of serious topics in this world, and they're important to give them space and time, but it's also important to laugh. That's why laughing feels good, by the way, because
Yeah.
you're supposed to do it. And I'd rather laugh than cry, but if you put me in front of a sad movie, I'll cry because I'm a real wussy. What can I tell you?
You feel
Just
so-
ask my wife. She giggles all the time. She hears me sniffling, right? I go, no, I'm just congested, honey.
Oh my gosh. We actually have one more that's popping in here. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. Sorry, not even getting a chance to breathe, but Richard is in the house. Come on in and join us. How are you?
I'm doing well. Can everybody hear me out there?
Oh, yeah, we got you, brother.
Nice.
Go ahead and just take a moment and remind everybody who you are.
I need Yeah, so I'm Rich Rothenbach. So I am a co-founder and chairman of Map to Manhood Inc. And really, I just want to pop on because it's a big day for us. So we announced, even though Brian added us, which was awesome. But yeah, just to announce that we signed a partnership with Brian and the PDH team. We had our board meeting on Sunday, just really kind of semantics there. But us officers, right? We kind of stick to the script. So I just want to pop on and just say how thankful I am and glad to be a part of this mission, and then have you all a part of our mission as well. So
Oh, brother, I'm honored to have you guys here. This is actually proving that if we work together, more is going to get done. It's
yeah,
just
definitely.
that simple.
Yeah, it's strange. Well, I see it, Brian, I see it as us being a member of the body. So this should be me supporting you as a brother or sisters. And, we suffer together. We're comforted when each other are comforted, and we comfort each other. So if you suffer, I suffer, vice versa. Right. So that's kind of, just kind of one explanation of being a part of the body, but that's how I really see it. And I honestly, I see how you are so passionate about this, and this is exactly how I feel inside as well. And I think that's what really draws me to you. Just like your last comment, saying if we have one veteran show up, that's enough, because that's that opportunity God gave you to potentially save that person's life. So
again, brother, it's service before self. I mean, I got that being a medic. Okay.
Yeah.
God just reinforces it to me. That's just like everybody's so wrapped up around God will never leave the mission. Why are you? Why? I don't know. I don't know why people don't get so wrapped up over that rule of mine.
Yeah, I don't understand either. Especially how I would say biblically how love is defined, and then just with the addition of servitude and sacrifice. It's funny. I went to a birthday party with my son. His classmates had a birthday party, and the dad there was serving the cake. Right, he was cutting the cake, and there was a gentleman next to me. He asked that gentleman. He said, "Hey, do you want a piece of cake?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." Probably just just obliging, right?
Uh-huh.
And the guy, and the guy cutting the cake, which he just doesn't understand, is he's like, you're a grown man. He's like, go get your plate. I'm not going to serve you. And I just thought in that instance, the picture that came to my mind was Christ washing all his disciples' feet, right?
Uh-huh.
During the Last Supper. So I just, that type of mentality as far as service and sacrifice is really lost on a lot of folks. And I think if we would adopt more understanding of what it is to serve and sacrifice for each other, um, then I think we would actually be able to express love for one another um, in the kind of way that people actually need it.
In full agreement. In full agreement. Yeah, were you able to go on? Were you here for the update?
I know I missed it. I'm sorry. You want to give me a brief one?
Oh, no. The thing, well, you probably saw it on our social media. Our volunteers
Mm-hmm.
are the muscle of this mission. Because we're one big body, right?
Exactly.
Our patrons are the blood of the mission because they supply the volunteers with all the necessity nutrients and all that stuff so they can work.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained that. I was kind of curious to how you were breaking that down, but yeah, totally. It's definitely the lifeblood is the people that we serve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for
to
sure.
be the whole body, the leadership team is the brain. Volunteers are the muscle. Patrons are the blood. That grows the body in the veterans community.
Yeah, and you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just came to me a couple months ago, and I was like, yeah, we're going to stick with that.
Yeah, and I've listened twice to what Maury talks about, and it's very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, so um, it's just for them, and you were saying it's only like 30 minutes. I mean, what are we doing? That's how I could tell somebody, right? You need to take 30 minutes to read your Bible, right? But they'll watch a TV show for 30 minutes, right? And it could be something like, whatever they're watching. They're probably not, hopefully they're watching something that'll feed their soul. But it's just taking out that 30 minutes is relatively, I mean, very simple, but we see it more as like, oh, we have to commit a discipline to this 30 minutes or whatever, which if we would just analyze, our day and see that we probably got 30 minutes to spare to go ahead and just relax, listen to something that's going to help us. And I don't know.
I
If people
you
realize how much time they waste every day, other
Mm-hmm.
than, they would realize they have more than enough time for this. You got to take the time for yourself. It's really a decision. Are you really that bad if you can't take half an hour out of your day to help yourself? You got to ask yourself a question. People need, ultimately, I could invent a pill. Let's say, because I am a scientist, so let's say I invented a pill. Okay, so I invent a pill. And if all of you people take that pill with a glass of water tonight before you go to sleep, when you wake up in the morning, you will be guaranteed to live to be 150 at least. You will be fully ambulatory, so you won't have any physical problems. You'll be totally healthy. You'll be able to walk, run, play pickleball, whatever the hell you want to do. You can do all of it. If you have questions, the answers will just come to you. If people need your help, you'll have the skill set available to help them. If they ask you a question, you'll be able to answer them. Everything is perfect. You still have to take the frickin' pill. The minute you take that pill, you're the one responsible for the change in you, not me. Even though I designed the pill, I developed the pill, I made the pill do all these miraculous things, it does nothing if you don't take it. People have to do and take advantage of what they're given. If they don't, whatever they're given has no value.
agreed. This is why there's an application process for a veteran to become a resident. Because if you want to take advantage of everything we have to offer, you have to show you're going to put in that work.
Mhm.
I mean, again, well, that's a little harsh. No, I work with finite resources. I can't waste them.
Yeah, even on like so our small group discipleship, um, it'd probably be after maybe the first or second week, maybe. But eventually, I'm going to ask them, "Hey, is this something that you're willing to commit to?" Right? I'm not going to bring you in if you're one, you don't want to learn, and then two, you're not committed. Right? Uh, You got to have some type of, and I think that's perfectly okay to do. But I would just say that's probably not something. Um, I'm probably not the one to sit down with you if there's not going to be some kind of commitment, because how do I hold you accountable at the end of the day if there's no commitment behind it,
Yeah.
right? As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if there's no commitment there, then that kind of defeats the purpose, and you should probably just go do whatever you want somewhere.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah, you said it.
Look,
It's true though.
it is.
Hmm.
Look,
Uh,
you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So if you're going to bring a horse to water, you might as well make sure you bring the one who's thirsty.
Yeah.
I like that adage, but as a medic, I can always stick an IV in your neck.
uh, well, you bring reality home quite poignantly, or pointedly, shall we say.
Well, Sue was telling me earlier had to go to the doctor because she pulled some muscles water skiing, right?
Mhm.
Went to
Mhm.
the ER. I don't go there because I critique. They're like, well, can you start that IV better? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I said, my best stick was in the middle of the night in a medevac helicopter, sticking in both necks, wearing night vision goggles. If you could do that, then we'll talk about are we on par. Did I ever think I could do that? No, but I did.
It's amazing what you can do when you have no choice.
Huh?
Isn't it?
Uh,
Brian, do
All
you
right,
ever talk?
guys.
I got a question real quick for you, Brian. You
Yeah,
mind?
go ahead.
Um, what do you ever meet veterans that don't think they need help? Like
Oh, yeah.
that don't see, um, that maybe have some kind of misconception about their current state or something like that.
Oh, yeah, brother. I meet them all the time. Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
brother.
yeah.
No, brother, you're not.
Right.
Because you don't want to take advantage of this resource because you think somebody else deserves it better than you. No, that's just like, look, with the VA, look, we all have our nightmares with them. But if you're a veteran and you're not signed up and you're waiting till something breaks to go sign up, you don't gripe. Get signed, get into the system.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's even yeah. I mean, that makes so much sense. Really, even the people that are reaching out to you all, even so, if anybody's listening, like even if there's something that you're struggling with, or something small you're struggling with, or something like that, um, Brian's pulling in the resources, even if it's something small, or you don't think you need help, or maybe you're kind of questioning whether you do or not. Um, you know, whether it be Brian, his team, or Brian's resources, to be able to um, kind of peel back that onion for you a little bit, and maybe show you that maybe you are one of those folks that needs help, and maybe you need to contact somebody.
Well, and again, brother, it's not the fact that everything is, there. And I'm losing my train here. When you say peeling the onion back, right?
Yeah.
There's peeling that onion. That's a scary proposition within our community.
I know. It's a life
Okay.
saving one though.
It is a life-saving one, but that is a scary proposition within our community. Because in my time in doing this, I've peeled back a few of those onions.
Hmm.
Praise God, I was able to get them help.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're looking at getting into like self awareness, identity, I mean, the onion's got to be. That's when you start asking really these are. I asked a group of 20-year-old men, boys, I would say probably boys, at the 4th of July. There's my nephew's friends he brought. I was like, what happens to you when you die? You know, what gives you your purpose? Um, Ask them. You can ask them simple things about creation, right? And then the big one that nobody asks themselves, but they're worried about all their day to day stuff is like, who are you, right? And then trying to answer that question. Um, and those are really 4 simple ones that I usually start with to kind of peel back that layer to kind of take them out of um, probably some anxiety about thinking about what's going to happen in the future, and really start focusing on themselves, because that purpose, I don't see how that purpose comes if you don't have an identity.
I hear you on that, brother.
Yeah,
But at 20 years old, I wasn't thinking about anything but
exactly, exactly. And
next
I
Friday
try.
night.
And I have a young NCO working with me right now. I'm in charge of. He just got brought on for a little bit, and he's like, I'm just out having a good time, or enjoying my young days. Where I was working out at the gym probably 5 months ago, and there was uh, a young captain. I mean, he got off the treadmill and literally and just died right in front of me. There was
Yeah.
another soldier giving him CPR, and you know. Um, obviously paramedics, fire department on their way to
Oh
help
yeah.
them. But at that point, I was just looking at the soldier to see if she needed a break, and see she needed someone else to step in, to help. But yeah, he passed away right in front of me. So my message is, yes, at 20 years old, but I wished when I was 20 years old, someone would ask me some of those questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020. You know. All right. But I do got to get running on to my next thing. Hi, brother. We could sit here all night and talk about a myriad of things because there's knowledge going both ways on this conversation. But I do got to get rolling.
Are y'all doing a message of hope?
Go ahead. You go first.
You don't mind? Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So I read this recently. I am going to read a passage, but then I'm also going to kind of talk about it. But it'll be short because I didn't write much on it. But so it's Romans 8:18, and then this is Paul saying, "For I consider that the suffering of the present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us." So, and I fall in this to myself when I'm at work, but I look at my present situation, and then I compare it to the glory um, that is promised to me, where Paul is even saying he's not even comparing it with his present situation. He just has his eyes on his hope, right, in those promises. And I would say it's probably more than confident hope, right, in his inheritance, right? So he's not even comparing because he literally has his eyes on the prize. So if my message would be hope, would be that inheritance, if you were to give your life to Christ, that inheritance is yours. It is secured, and you can keep your eyes focused on that. And it's not even worth comparing to the present suffering that you're currently facing, because it is so glorious. But that's my
Amen to
message of
that.
hope for today. I
Amen.
appreciate y'all having me on.
Oh,
Sorry if I
brother.
crashed. Yeah.
No, you're good. Look.
Anytime.
Yeah, look. Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
I appreciate it,
Because
Brian.
just this conversation, I guarantee, is going to reach somebody and they're going to go, wait a minute. They're
Right.
going to think. And that's all I really need them to do is take that moment to think.
That's it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, y'all have a nice evening.
You too. All right,
Okay.
brothers and sisters, do
God
not give up. You're not allowed. You're not authorized. I haven't seen the form in triplicate. So, Sue or Kurt, somebody close us out. But this was a very good show.
This was a very good show. We appreciate all those coming on in here. Kurt, I want to give you one last word here before we turn this all down. We're in a little overtime session here, which has been amazing. But Kurt, over to you.
Well, I just want to reflect back on the situation that we had here tonight and the time that I was here with Maury, and just Maury's situation, communicating with him earlier. He wasn't quite sure if he was going to make it on the show. And, lo and behold, he was on here to be here for the duration. And that's just, to me, how it works. You just have to let it play out. And I guess that is, the result of responding to hope, to give hope a try. Answer that was here when Maury said, from the outside looking in, Maury says Brian's looking good, but what was that about? It was about, like at the end here when Richard and Brian were bantering, the knowledge was exchanging both ways. So, these possibilities exist, and whether they play out or not, it's a matter of time and, what our Heavenly Father's will may be. So, that's what I extend to you. I think of the great weekend I had last weekend, and I could comment on it, but the idea is, what would that have to do with what you're dealing with? The pain and the demise and the feeling of, challenging your own self-worth and things like that. I was on a posting party earlier, and there were people there representing ideas of self-care. So, and that's a little bit of what Maury was talking about. Give yourself a chance to take care of yourself and, play it out. And, we have someone in another group with Happy Neighborhood Project and posting parties. Her whole thing is sending greeting cards. And she has a little fun thing. She says, let the cards fall where they may. So I guess that's my message of hope is you don't know what's in store for you. So go ahead and find out. Please stick in there, hang in there, and reach out to us. My email is Kurt, Kurt, at projectdiehard.org. My number for calling and texting, 262-372-174. Back to you, Sue.
Excellent. This has been an amazing evening. Thinking back on all the things, and I truly hope that you catch the nuggets along the way here with us. God's not done with you yet. You're here for a reason. A friend gave me this just yesterday, and I'm going to pass that along here. Holy Moments. If I haven't read it yet, I've read the first page so far. So by next week, I hope to have this done, and I can hopefully share a few more thoughts along the way with this. And I just know, Holy Moments, a handbook for the rest of your life. If you are looking for something to to take a quick read. It's not a big one. You can do this quickly. It's a good choice. So it's by Matthew Kelly, and I look forward to being able to share this a bit more. With that, like I said, God's not done with you yet. You've got a mission. If you're not sure what that is, take the time to reflect and find out what it is. And if you need help, it's okay to need help. It's okay to not be okay. And we're here for you. For all of us here at Project Die Hard and Mission Monday Update, we hope to see you right back here, same time, same place next week, every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Central. And as always,